Now, let's discuss housing problems. These were also serious in Tokyo during its boom years. The population of Tokyo mushroomed after the war. This led to demand for new residential areas in the suburbs. One form of development that emerged was the danchi, large residential blocks built by the government. Another form was suburbs, filled with single-family detached homes with gardens. The Japanese ideal. These developments soaked up the growing population. Development on Tokyo's outskirts advanced rapidly. Many housing estates and single-family homes were constructed. The national government created a system to control the movement of people to the suburbs. The government hoped this would make more land available in the city center for renewal projects. A law was passed with this aim in mind. It was called the Special Tax Treatment for Replacement Purchases of Residential Property. Here is how it worked. First of all, it was assumed that the price of land would keep rising. Under this law, if a person living in the city center sold their land and purchased a new residence somewhere else within 5 years, they did not pay taxes on the sale. This was a way for the person to make a lot of money. The law promoted a smooth flow of people out to the suburbs, where they could purchase more spacious homes. But after the collapse of the bubble economy, the law was repealed. There were two reasons. One, city center residents became unfairly rich. And two, the use of land was becoming more and more chaotic. The growing population of Tokyo was redirected into the suburbs. More and more workers had to commute to the middle of the city. To help them was a statute, unique to Japan, that provided commuting subsidies. This led to a further flow of residents out to the suburbs, but it also created very long commutes. Commutes over an hour and a half or even 2 hours each way became common in Tokyo. The development of the suburbs was undertaken both by the public sector through the Japan Housing Corporation and by private real estate developers. One successful example of post-war private sector development was Tokyo Railway's development of the Tama-Deien-Toshi suburb. This example is often mentioned. There, railway development and residential development were undertaken together. There is a unique aspect of land policy in Japan, especially regarding land for residential use. While permissible land uses are clearly specified by law, in actuality, land uses tend to blur. In the US, land uses are strict and clear. Office zones are only for offices, residential zones only for homes, and commercial zones only for commercial uses. In Japan, these categories are much fuzzier. In the suburbs, primarily, agricultural land was turned into housing. In the center of the city, office developers bought commercial and residential plots at high prices and then turned them into offices. Ultimately, improper land use ran wild. Speculators were attracted to huge price increases. To make matters worse, much of the development in suburban areas went ahead without proper planning. Tokyo Railway's success was a notable exception. It was not typical.